Okay, can you all hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Good evening,
All right.
everyone.
All right. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to day 13 of the African Digital Conference. It's been an amazing journey so far. And today we'll continue to explore the cutting edge trends in AI, tech, and marketing that are reshaping the industries and driving innovations across Africa and beyond. In an exciting time, and today's discussion promise to challenge perspectives. Of course, a lot of ideas are going to spark a lot of ideas tonight and set the stage for the future of digital transformation. To kickstart or to kick off with this session, we have an incredible keynote speaker who is a visionary in this space, who is no other than Ebere Josephine Oba. I hope I got that name right. And she is globally recognized. She's a globally recognized expert in digital transformation, artificial intelligence, and technology innovation, with a bold vision for the future and a proven track record of impact. She is renowned for leading groundbreaking initiatives that drive that drive digital evolution across sectors. Her expertise spans AI regulation, AI-driven cybersecurity, and designing strategic frameworks to combat cyber threats and cybercrime. She is a trusted voice on the ethical use of emerging technologies, shaping policies and thought leadership at the intersection of tech and societal impact. Ebere's outstanding contributions have earned her numerous accolades, including Gold Globe Award for Sustainable Digital Achievement, named Outstanding Leader of the Year at the Digital Revolution Global Awards 2024, recognized as Leading Digital Transformation Expert 2024. Of course, there's a long list. Her thought leadership is reflected in 30 plus published articles on platforms such as Mondeck, Enago, and the Digital Transformation Journal, where she explores topics including AI ethics, anthropomorphism in AI, hyper-personalization, and regulatory innovation. She is also a sought-after international speaker, having addressed global forums like DigiBank Summit, Nigeria and Ethiopia, Accelerated Digital Transformation Summit, NBA Annual Conference, Sales Pro Conference, WordPress WordCamp. Beyond speaking and publishing, Ebere's influence extends through active roles in global networks, including Institute for Digital Transformation, US, Victorian ICT for Women Network, Women Tech Global Network, and a lot more. A strong advocate for diversity, equity, and inclusion in technology, she supports initiatives under STEM Women Global and the Women Tech Network, mentoring the next generation of tech innovators. Professionally, she serves as the brand manager at Aluko and Ayebode, one of Nigeria's premier law firms, and the director of digital innovation and transformation at Kamedis Inc., where she oversees AI and machine learning projects, enhancing global automotive system services. Ebere has led over 30 cross-border digital transformation projects spanning 25 plus countries with a lasting impact on legal tech, ed tech, UI and UX innovation, and AI-driven customer engagement. And of course, her mission is clear: to shape a tech-driven, inclusive future where innovation creates value, empowers people, and build resilient, intelligent systems across industries. Today, our keynote, Madame Ebere Josephine Oba, will be speaking to us on the ethics of artificial intelligence, branding, and digital marketing. Starting off today, I want everybody to be in with their full energy as we give an accolade to Madam Ebere, Josephine. You have the floor, Madam Ebere Josephine, as she comes up to grace us with these amazing topics at the African Digital Conference tonight.
Thank you very much, Derick. Please confirm if you can hear me clearly.
We can hear you properly.
Okay, thank you for having me here. And we welcome, once again, we welcome everyone who are available for this session. So without wasting our time, I will proceed with sharing my screen. Okay, please confirm if you can see my screen clearly.
Yes, we can see your screen properly.
Okay, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, everyone, depending on where you are hearing me from. My name is Ebere Josephine. I'll be taking a keynote session on AI ethics, digital marketing and branding under the conference session titled Artificial Intelligence, Tech and Marketing. So artificial intelligence is rapidly transforming the marketing and branding landscape across Africa, offering an unprecedented opportunity for personalization, efficiency, and engagement. However, the deployment of AI is not without its ethical considerations. While many companies are leveraging AI for positive impact and building stronger customer relationships, others risk engaging in unethical practices with potentially damaging consequences for their brand and consumer trust. So this keynote presentation is just to provide illustrative example of how artificial intelligence is being used ethically in digital marketing and branding, especially by African companies, as well as discussing the ethical pitfalls and potential negative impacts across the broader African landscape. And these are the agenda for today's discussion. So the first session is the power of artificial intelligence in digital marketing. AI is actively revolutionizing digital marketing. We all know that. And because it serves as the engine powering significant advancement in online engagement, driving efficiency, and enabling profound customer understanding. So here are some of the key ways artificial intelligence is reshaping online marketing. The first aspect is on the aspect of hyper-personalization. Imagine tailoring messages for thousands or millions of individuals so effectively that each person feels uniquely addressed by a particular brand. AI makes this very feasible. Rather than relying solely on broad demographic segmentation, just like the traditional marketing, AI enables individualized marketing. This is because AI excels at processing and interpreting vast data sets encompassing both unstructured data and structured data like customer reviews or social media posts. So AI can analyze this data to construct detailed customer profiles and their preferences, and a process which we know to be AI-powered profiling. It can also utilize this information to subtly influence consumer behaviors, such as recommending products a customer might like, and which some in marketing we call it nudges. So given its capacity for deep individual understanding, AI can dynamically adjust messaging, offers, online content, and the overall brand experience in real time. Another power of AI in digital marketing is with respect to enabling enhanced business efficiency and return on investment. Many marketing tasks are inherently time-consuming and data-intensive. AI can automate these processes, which include processes like programmatic advertising, content idea generation, lead generation, campaign management, and even performance reporting. Businesses are actively implementing AI for these purposes. So this clearly demonstrates artificial intelligence capability to significantly enhance marketing efficiency and improve return on investment by automating repetitive and time-consuming tasks. The another power of AI in digital marketing is aspect of predictive insight and smart decision making. Artificial intelligence provides marketers like us with a powerful capability. What is that capability? The ability for us to anticipate future trends, or at least make highly informed projections. By employing AI, marketers can now foresee customers' needs and desires before customers even articulate such needs by themselves, and even predict the emergence of the new market trends. AI also significantly aids in campaign management. It helps us analyze our campaign performances and suggest real-time adjustments to optimize results while campaign is still active. So furthermore, it can help companies understand their competitors' activities by analyzing their online presence and measure the actual financial return of a campaign with a greater accuracy and efficiency. The final aspect of AI power in digital marketing is it enables deeper customer understanding. Customers interact with brands across numerous online platforms, right? Like in reviews, offering reviews on social media, and also through customer service channels. So, and in the process, generating a vast amount of unstructured data. AI, therefore, is exceptional at processing this type of information. By analyzing customers' reviews, social media comments, and customer service interactions like chat logs, AI can discern customer sentiments, online behavior, and even underlying emotions and expectations of customers. This enables companies to understand the genuine motivations behind customer preferences and their connections with the brand. Therefore, the rise of artificial intelligence is transforming not only daily marketing tasks, but also the fundamental principles of brand building, perception, and customer experience. This leads us to the next slide on artificial intelligence impact on branding and consumer connection. AI beyond marketing, we are not in branding. AI is fundamentally altering how brands interact with and connect with their audiences. Its impact extends deeply into the realm of branding, influencing everything from the customer experience to brand trust and sentiment. Here are some ways AI tends to influence brand identity and connections with consumers. The first aspect is AI-powered brand experience. Consider the consumer journey. From encountering an advertisement to making a purchase and seeking support, artificial intelligence can make this path seamless, user-friendly, and highly personalized at every point. This includes website interaction, mobile app usage, customer support, and product recommendation. When these experiences are made smooth, helpful, and also feel tailored to a specific individual, individuals tend to foster positive brand associations with a particular business. These positive feelings directly shape the overall brand perception and, in essence, building brand loyalty for the business. So the second impact of AI on branding is influencing brand perception and behavior. AI plays a significant role in shaping customer sentiment towards a brand. AI-generated content, whether images, videos, or text, or even intelligent chatbots, can actually directly affect consumer preferences and purchasing decisions. It's crucial that any AI-generated content and identity have to align with the brand voice. Because if it deviates from the brand's identity, it cannot appear to be authentic or trustworthy. So while we are leveraging artificial intelligence for generating content, videos, it has to also align with the brand guide and the brand voices so that it can appear to be authentic and trusted by the relevant consumers. Another aspect of AI's impact on branding is with respect to trust and data ethics. The nature of artificial intelligence interaction with customers directly impacts customers' trust in a brand. When AI delivers consistent, valuable, and helpful interactions, such as trust, such as providing highly relevant product suggestions or offering quick and useful support via a chatbot, AI can help a business build trust. Conversely, if personalization feels intrusive, very important, due to perceived over-monitoring of customers, or if a company uses AI to mishandle customers' personal information, or the AI tends to lack human touch, because you're using AI for marketing, it tends to lack human touch. Trust and loyalty can rapidly erode. So that means while AI can help to build trust and data ethics for businesses, it also raises ethical issues and concerns that will be addressed later. Finally, AI data can be leveraged for brand strategy. AI can analyze vast amounts of real-time data to get deep insights into customer behavior, sentiment, and expectation. So this understanding is derived from the AI's ability to analyze unstructured data, which I earlier mentioned. So it empowers brands to make more informed decisions regarding market positioning, messaging, product development, and even overall strategic planning. So instead of relying on outdated information, brands can actually use AI-driven insights to guide their strategy in current customer realities and desires. So artificial intelligence has immense capability to interact, influence, and shape brand perceptions. By doing so, it also leads to critical ethical considerations that we need to consider. So some of the ethical challenges of artificial intelligence in digital marketing and branding include issues of privacy, data rights, and security. Artificial intelligence marketing heavily relies on collecting and processing vast amounts of customer data. Unethical practices can involve collecting data without explicit consent, using data in ways not consented to by consumers, or even lacking transparency in how artificial intelligence is being used to personalize messages. Data privacy regulations are still evolving in many African countries, including here in Nigeria, creating a potential environment to address such issues. So a company can secretly use AI to track highly personal consumer behavior online, and then using the information for targeted marketing without the consent, which risk to issues of breach of data trust. And when a brand is conceived or is actually perceived to be intrusive and exploitative of data, it becomes a challenge for the brand and also for the consumer. The second challenge with artificial intelligence in digital marketing is with issues of bias and unfairness in AI system. A significant risk of artificial intelligence in marketing is its ability to perpetuate existing societal bias through biased algorithms. If the data used to train artificial intelligence model reflects historical inequalities or stereotypes, so then it risks an issue when artificial intelligence actually exclude or unfairly target certain demographic groups based on factors like ethnic group, genders, and social economic status. So if a company, for example, uses AI for advertising, like job opportunities, and then to target a certain group with while discarding the other group, these issues can actually lead to significant reputational damage for the company. The third challenge we have with AI, applying AI in digital marketing and branding, is issues of manipulation. Is AI used for manipulation or is it used for persuasion? It's becoming difficult to distinguish between using AI for helpful guidance or using it for manipulation. AI ability to deeply understand individual consumer psychology can be misused for manipulative marketing practices. This could involve using AI to identify and exploit vulnerabilities, like pushing addictive products to susceptible individuals, or employing what is called dark patterns in user interfaces. that tricks individuals into making unintended purchases or sharing more data than they intend to share. This is also a big issue in the realm of artificial intelligence. The fourth issue is issue that relates to transparency and explainability. Is quote, the black box problem. Many advanced artificial intelligence algorithms use the marketing actually operates as black boxes, where decision making is not easily understood, even by developers themselves. In the African context, this lack of this lack of transparency can particularly be very problematic. Consumers and even businesses using these tools may not understand why they are being shown a certain advert or segmented in a particular way or receive specific offers. So when artificial intelligence marketing decisions are opaque, it erodes consumer trust. If a consumer feels unfairly targeted or excluded by AI system or cannot understand why, they are likely to become frustrated and even lose trust in a brand. The final issue I'm going to raise with respect to AI in marketing is issue of misinformation and security risk. Artificial intelligence can be used to generate highly realistic but false content like deepfakes, fake reviews, misleading advertising copies that can spread misinformation about product, services, or even the brand itself. Furthermore, the increasing use of AI in marketing can create new security vulnerabilities that, if exploited, can lead to data breaches, disruption, and reputational damage. So after a company using AI to generate fake news or create misleading content can actually face severe consequences like legal actions. So it is very important to be able to know the purpose of the usage of AI for ethical instead of using it to create misleading or fake content. The next part of the presentation is the cases or examples of African companies who are actually using AI for positive purpose, especially in the aspect of marketing. I will start with Njiah.
Yes, you will try to round up in 2 minutes for the companies so that we can have the next keynote.
Okay, thank you. So I will start with Njiah, for example. Njiah, as a leading e-commerce in Nigeria and even in Africa, uses artificial intelligence for personalized marketing and recommendation by analyzing vast amounts of customer behaviors like customers' browsing history, purchase behavior, and even preferences. And it enables them to actually collect personalized product recommendations and tailor marketing campaigns to individuals. We have UBA that uses video chatbot, MTN, Outbox.com. There are supermarket chains that use AI for inventory management and also online fashion retailers. So what strategies do we have to have on mind when it comes to employ AI for marketing? One is embedding ethics from the outset, at the point of product development to in any project we want to integrate AI, we need to prioritize privacy and ethics in AI initiatives, and also establish clear governance and oversight by developing guidelines and frameworks for ethical AI use. We have to prioritize transparency and explainability. We have to be open about data usage and also artificial intelligence roles in our customer interactions. Then actively dictate and mitigate bias. As we are using AI, we need to also implement tools and methodologies to actively identify and correct biases in AI systems. And most importantly, maintain human involvement. We always keep humans in control whenever we are using AI. So for the sake of accountability and proper oversight. In conclusion, the future of marketing is actually intelligent. It's ethical, human-centric, and connected. So artificial intelligence is undeniably transforming the marketing and branding landscape, offering immense potential for personalization, efficiency. However, this power demands ethical responsibility, particularly regarding privacy, bias, manipulation, and transparency. Ethical AI adoption isn't just a requirement, but it has to be a strategic imperative for success and competitive differentiation. Building trust through ethical practices, create resilient brands, and better connection with consumers. So we must continuously learn more about AI using marketing, prioritize human values, and also use it wisely and responsibly. And most importantly, we leaders, marketers, technologists should be able to advocate continuously for ethical artificial intelligence deployment in marketing, advertising, and branding, because the most impactful AI is guided by humans. And the aim is to strengthen authentic human connections and benefit humans, ensuring trustworthy and equitable digital landscape for businesses and brands. Thank you.
Wow, wow, wow. That was a brilliant one from Ebere Josephine. I believe that every one of you, I want to see your thumbs up. I want to see your thumbs up, please. I want to see your thumbs up. Everybody, I hope you enjoyed the session. If you enjoyed this, I want to see a thumbs up. I know how difficult it is to have managed to deliver such value in less than 20 minutes or more, given the principles about the AI ethics in Africa, branding, how it ties to businesses, the risks involved, and in digital marketing and the rest. I believe that every single participant here is collecting a lot of value just like me. Make sure that you're taking screenshots. If you can jot, please do. On to the next speaker of the day, and we will be introducing Dr. Leez Renske. I hope that I get your name right. Please, you will help us pronounce it right when you come on Spotlight. Dr. Leez is a Botswana-born, Kenyan-based medical doctor with nearly a decade of experience on the front lines of healthcare. Her journey has been driven by one powerful belief that healthcare is a right, not a privilege. After witnessing firsthand how financial barriers and overburdened systems impact patients' care and provider well-being, she became a voice for change. Burnout, often hidden behind scrubs, and stethoscopes, led her to start a community for medics. So a safe space for open dialogue on mental health that now spans across Kenya and Zambia. Leez is also emerging as a health tech innovator, transitioning from clinical practice to digital solutions that promote healthcare equity. So she is learning web development and product design to create systems that empower both patients and providers, reshaping how healthcare is accessed and delivered in Africa. Wow. Her vision is an Africa where money doesn't determine access to quality care, a medical workforce that is mentally resilient and tech-enabled, workplaces that prioritize well-being, patients who are informed, engaged, and empowered in their healing journeys. What she brings to the table, real-life insights into the challenges and innovations in African healthcare, experience building grassroots mental health communities for medics, a fresh perspective as a creative doctor, moderator, designer, and future coder, a growing movement focused on human-centered tech-powered healthcare systems. Dr. Renske isn't just talking about change, she's building it. So one conversation, one connection, one innovation at a time. That is what we are talking about. And tonight, we are privileged to have Dr. Leez, who will be gracing the stage on the topic, the rise of health tech in Africa from frontline to founders. So we want to have you speak to us in not more than for the next 20 minutes. She will have the spotlight to give us insights on this. So your thumbs up as we welcome Dr. Leez, please. Is Dr. Leez there? Are we safe? If you are there, please kindly unmute your mic and let's be sure that you're around. You can't share your screen. Unmute yourself. Let's be sure that you are around first of all before we move on. Let's be sure. So I can't find you on the spotlight.
Hello? Okay.
Yes, you are on.
Sorry about that. Good evening. My name is Dr. Leez Renske, and I am the co-founder of Mindful. So today we're going to be talking about, hello?
Yes, go ahead, please.
So today we're going to be talking about my journey, basically from being a frontline worker. Hello?
We are following you, Doc. Okay, it seems Dr. Leez is having some technical issues. We may have to move on to the next speaker while she try to fix that. And then come on. So without any more wastage of time, we will move on to the next speaker. Dr. Leez, when you maybe we'll have you after this speaker comes up. And we'll be introducing the next speaker of today, who is none other than Madam Melody Mukhwana. She is an AI-powered project manager, and she is a human-centered technologist, mentor advocate for ethical and impact-driven innovation in Africa. With over 4 years of experience at the powerful intersection of AI and human expertise, she has led large-scale teams, over 500 contributors, in training and refining AI models designed not just for accuracy, but for real-world relevance, from defect detection in infrastructure to precision AI solutions. Melody is at the forefront of AI applications that are already transforming industries. What drives her the most? The untapped potential of AI to revolutionize Africa, not as a distant, complex technology, but as a tool for solving everyday problems, improving lives, and bringing social and economic gaps, or bridging social and economic gaps. Melody is passionate about human-centered AI development, mentoring future talents and supporting startups, ethical, transparent AI implementation, driving real impact in African communities. She is a vocal advocate for moving beyond the hype, engaging in meaningful conversations about AI ethics, automation, and local solutions that empower rather than exclude. Whether in boardrooms, conferences, or community hubs, Melody brings clarity, purpose, and empathy to the future of artificial intelligence in Africa. So with your hands or with your thumbs up, join me welcome Madam Melody Mukhwana, who will be speaking to us about the future of AI in Africa. Madam Melody, you have 15 minutes.
Thank you, Derick, for the intro, and good evening, everyone. My name is Melody, as Derick has mentioned. I work at the intersection of AI, project management, and psychology. And as mentioned, for the past 5 years, I've been leading global teams of over 500, working to train and refine various AI models to increase automation, efficiency, and drive meaningful impact. Most recently, I founded Humanly AI, an AI strategy and execution consultancy that is helping African teams adopt AI the human way. I help individuals and businesses adopt and implement human-centered AI tools that help teams boost performance, cut burnout, and build scalable systems without losing the soul and heart of their businesses. So simply put, we blend cutting-edge technologies with human needs because honestly, tech is meant to serve us, not stress us. So now, before your brain switches off and you think, oh, here comes the boring tech stuff, breathe. Today is a very light conversation where we're just talking about real stories, real challenges, and going to be covering some really exciting opportunities on the future of AI in Africa. So let's just start from the beginning. What is AI really? Artificial intelligence, or AI, simply put, is machines learning to do what humans can do. That's the most basic explanation I can give on what AI is. But for a more scientific explanation, AI is the science of making machines smarter or capable of human-like tasks. So the machines pretty much just learn from data so that they can make decisions, solve problems, or predict outcomes, just like we do, but at scale. Why do we say at scale? Because as humans, we have a limitation. That is, we can only focus on one thing at a time. That's why a lot of us have problems with multitasking. We find it very hard, and even in solving problems, we can only focus on one problem at a time. But when it comes to AI, it's able to do all those things concurrently at the same time. You can give a specific prompt to an assistant with 10 different steps or 10 different outcomes tied to one thing, and it's going to work on all of them concurrently and give you the response at the same exact time, which is why we say at scale. So now that we know what AI is, let's touch on a few subcategories of AI to show us how exactly we've been interacting with AI in our day-to-day lives. So let's think of AI as a company, and then it has some departments in it that focus on different areas. So the first subcategory that we're going to be touching on is machine learning. So machine learning is the field of AI where systems learn from data and improve over time without explicitly being programmed. So like no one is at the back end of this model or this machine programming it and telling it what to do or teaching it every day. It just learns from the data that you feed it and it gets better over time. A practical example that I can give is Netflix. So the first time you logged on to Netflix, you selected your categories, and when you logged in, it was just very basic recommendations. But the more you get to watch on Netflix, the more personalized your recommendations become. That is machine learning at work. Similar case to your TikTok or Instagram algorithms. The more you view, the more you like, it teaches your algorithm that this is the subject matter that you're interested in, and that's the content that's going to be pushed more and more for you on your algorithm. So that's an example of ML at work. Next up, we have computer vision. So this is the field of AI that deals with visual data. So that's just pretty much how AI sees images and understands what's in them. So for example, using your Face ID to unlock your phone. I do not have any slides. This is just going to be a conversation. It's a taste of what's going to be coming at the main event. So the more in-depth slides will be coming then. But for today, it's just a conversation going through of AI and the opportunities and challenges. More coming soon at the main event. So make sure that you're going to be there. Yes, so for computer vision, when you use Face ID to unlock your phone, that is a type of computer vision, because even if the lighting is horrible, whether you're in a wig or a different hairstyle, whether you have glasses or not, it's still going to be able to recognize you and unlock your phone. And if someone else that's not you tries to do that, they're going to be denied access. That is computer vision at work. Next up, we have natural language processing, which is NLP in short. So that's the field of AI that handles human language. This is how AI understands and interacts with human language. So it teaches AI how to understand, interpret, and respond to humans in a human-like way. So for example, we have Siri or Alexa. These are voice assistants that we use on our phones. You're able to just say, Siri, do this and that. And Siri is able to transcribe what you said and actually give you the outcome that you desired. That is a type of NLP. We also have Duolingo. So for those of us who are on Duolingo trying to learn new languages, we see that when you speak on Duolingo, it's able to understand what you said, correct you or assess you and say this is correct or not, and actually suggest to you what the correct answer is. That is another form of NLP. And lastly, but not least, I had this, the list is extensive. This is just the major branches or fields or subcategories of AI that we have. So lastly, we have LLMs, which I'm sure are the most common ones that we have interacted with. So LLMs are large language models, which is a type of model under NLP. So it's NLP, and then we have LLMs under NLP. It's a model created under NLP, a more advanced one. So these are the brains behind tools like ChatGPT, Gemini, etc., that are trained on huge amounts of text to help generate human-like content. For example, summarize information, write code, give you your Instagram captions, all of that. Those are forms of LLMs at work. And as mentioned, an example is ChatGPT, which I'm sure a lot of us have interacted with. Another example is, for example, is text and emails autocomplete. So when you're texting, you always have another word that is suggested to you as what you should complete. For example, if you're on an email and you say kind, it's going to say regards, because that's the kind of text that it's been fed with, and it understands that usually when someone says kind, most times they say regards, and that's how it comes on to suggest that kind of completion. And so those are just highlights on how we've been interacting with AI in our day-to-day. It's not something that's far-fetched, sorry. This is something that we have in our day-to-day and we've been interacting with, whether knowingly or unknowingly, and it's transforming the way we live. So as mentioned, let's think of what I've mentioned, machine learning, NLP, and computer vision as different departments in the big company that is AI. Each department has its own set of tools, models that help it get the job done, but the umbrella body is AI. All right, so why should we care in Africa about AI? AI is not just something that's happening in Silicon Valley or wherever the billionaires are. It's here and it's now. And if we use it right, if we play this right, it can become one of Africa's biggest unlocks. Because the truth is we do have real challenges, we have real problems, but we also have real creativity. We have a real hustle mindset, and we have a very young, vibrant, and talented population who, if we really take this by the horns and put it to good use, then it's going to transform Africa for us as a whole. So let's get into the opportunities. I'll share a couple of opportunities and then we'll get into the challenges. So for the first opportunity, we have agriculture and AI, which ultimately totals food security. So in Africa, we know we are very blessed with fertile land, and a lot of us, even just here on this call, I'm sure, are either from a farming family or know someone who does. And we already know how devastating it is to lose a crop too late. And AI can help change that. Think of farmers being able to use image recognition apps to detect crop disease early and get solutions instantly, even when they're offline, meaning they don't even need internet or the cloud. How that happens for them to get this without internet or being connected by the cloud, they can Edge AI can be used which is a model that runs on the device itself, like on the phone or a drone, that allows you to run the model remotely. But I won't get too much into that. But it is possible for even those in rural areas with limited access to internet or smartphones. This is something that can actually get to them. And a tangible example is from a startup known as AgriPredict from Zambia, which is currently helping farmers with real-time disease diagnosis and weather forecasts. Like they actually get text prompts telling them, hey, it's going to rain in this amount of time, you better harvest. Or it's going to become dry, this is what you need to do. They just need to upload a picture or take pictures of their crops. And in real time, they're told this crop needs additional nutrients, XYZ, which you can imagine how much change, how much this is helping the farmer to not lose their crops to diseases or to unprecedented weather patterns. More opportunity comes in the sector of healthcare that is powered by AI. So AI can analyze medical scans faster than any radiologist, than any healthcare professional ever. But another point is it can work in low resource areas. So for example, in the rural areas or the villages, we have AI that, for example, like WhatsApp bots that guide moms through prenatal care. So we know of moms who maybe cannot access healthcare or are too far from these medical institutions, or it's just far too expensive for them. And they're able to use these WhatsApp bots to get this information. A tangible example would be Saratani AI, which was founded in Tanzania, helping with the early detection of cervical cancer. It scans cytological images in under 10 seconds, and you can imagine the difference it's making in recognizing this and how many lives are being saved with this. Another opportunity we have is youth employment through new AI jobs. I know the song that's been on the street is AI is going to take your job, it's going to take your job. But on the flip side, it's also creating jobs because who is going to collect the data? Who is going to develop the AI? Who is going to be a prompt engineer or train the AI? All these are new roles that are actually being created. And it's up to us to pivot, to upskill, and to get trained, to position ourselves in ways that matter in the next 5 years, that we will be able to take up these new roles that AI is giving to us. We also have opportunities in localized innovation. So most of the AI models we have here currently are borrowed from the West. These are Western AI models that are trained with data from the West. They are not localized to us. They do not fully understand us. So here we have the opportunity for AI developers in Africa, startups here in Africa, to build tools in our own languages with our own context that really understand us, tools for us, by us. And an example is South Africa's Lelapa AI, which is building language models that understand African languages natively. Could you imagine speaking to an AI assistant in your native language and it actually responding to you and understanding you? That would be so amazing if that could be spread across the entire Africa. So those are just a couple of opportunities that we have in Africa with the rise of AI. But if you are being real, there's a couple of challenges that also come with this. And a few of these were mentioned by Josephine, so I'll just touch on them lightly. Leading the pack is data bias. So as mentioned earlier, data bias is because most of the models that we have are from the West, trained by data in the West, and they don't really know us. So AI is only as smart as the data is trained on. And if it doesn't include people like us, then AI cannot see us properly. A tangible example is a lot of facial recognition systems were trained on datasets made up mostly of white male faces. And this resulted in this system struggling to detect darker skin tones, especially for Black women, with error rates that were as high as 35% compared to 1% for lighter skinned men. Why? Because this is what it was trained on and that's the output it can give. So that's not just a tech bug, but it's a real life safety issue that we need to work on. We need to develop our own AI models for us, by us, that understand us, that are trained with data that is representative of who we are as Africans and as a continent. Another challenge is the digital access gap. So we have AI tools, but not everyone has access to stable internet, smartphones, or is even digitally literate, So people in the rural areas would struggle. I mean, a lot of us in the city are still also just catching up to AI. So you can imagine what is happening in the village. Can they even access this information? Do they even know what's happening? And if we're not intentional with how we are disseminating the information regarding AI and trying to be as inclusive as possible, then AI will further deepen the gap. It will further deepen the inequality as opposed to bridging the gap. Another challenge is job disruption. So, as I said, AI is creating jobs, but then it's also automating others. So, jobs like customer service agents, receptionists, data entry clerks, content writers, all of this are going to be automated. In the next 5 years, they will be irrelevant. They will not be topping the job boards. So, as mentioned, the key is for us to train, reskill, upskill, and make sure we are preparing our youth to pivot to the future that is right here and at hand with us. And lastly, we have regulation and policy. As said by Josephine, right now we lack solid AI frameworks in most African countries. And without very clear policy, then we risk misuse of AI or just entirely being left behind. So where regulations don't exist, it's often outdated, or then again, you're going to be borrowing from other regions which do not represent our local context. Just the same way when we borrow AI models that are not from here, they do not fully represent us. And if we go ahead and also borrow other regulations that are not fully representative of us, then we will be doing ourselves a disservice. But we have the opportunity here to make sure that we can do this differently. We can build inclusive, ethical, and context-aware AI policies from the ground up to avoid such scenarios. I don't know how many of us got to learn about what happened with Grok over, I think, last week, but one, there was an incident where images of females were being uploaded onto Grok, and it was being given the prompt to strip them, and it was actually doing it and churning out content of the women without the clothes. That is an example of AI used very unethically, reinforcing biases and lack of data privacy. So we need to make sure that we have the guardrails to ensure that all these are observed as we work on AI. And lastly, I know I said lastly, but this is now the last one. We have the issue with fear and misunderstanding. A lot of us still feel like AI is scary, it's too far off, it's elitist, it's for the rich, it's for those in Silicon Valley. But that's really not the case. It's here with us, it's for us. And that's why how we introduce it matters. Excuse me. We need to make sure we are introducing AI in a way that's relatable to the people, in a way that's very easily understandable, making it making it less intimidating and more accessible for everyone. Teams, communities, whether in the cities, whether in the rural areas, we need to make sure that people really understand the value that AI is bringing to them so that they're able to adopt it and be open to it. So what if Africa didn't just adopt AI, but she defined what ethical, inclusive, human-first AI looks like? What if our blend of
We should
culture,
be
collaboration, and creativity becomes the heartbeat of a new kind of AI movements? We are so full of culture, collaboration. We have so much creativity going on in Africa. And so this is an opportunity for us and our AI developers to blend all this and create something here for us in Africa, AI for dignity, for opportunity, and for our progress. I hope today sparked a shift. AI isn't for the other people, for those who are far off. It's here, it's now. It's for you, it's for me, it's for us, it's for Africa. So let's not wait to be included, but let's take the lead. Thank you all, and looking forward to seeing you all at the main event.
Wow, that was a great one, Madam Melody Mukhwana. I believe that every one of you have learned a lot following up. For a fact, I had no idea that AI had categories. I've heard of machine learning and a few couple of different types of AI, but I didn't know they were categorized. Many of us know about ChatGPT and the rest. And of course, there is one thing to note: AI is for us because it is here now. Do not wait to be included, but be in the train. We will be having our next spotlight for the day, an amazing thought leader who is no other than Macdonald Ndovi. He is a business transformation strategist, executive consultant, and a road to market specialist. Macdonald Ndovi is a highly astute executive with a passion for switching on light bulbs, please, both in organizations and people. By unlocking new possibilities for transformation, he thrives at the intersection of strategy, innovation, and execution, driving impactful change across industries. With deep expertise in marketing and business development, road to market specialization, and global business processes, Macdonald brings a forward-thinking approach to strategy, transformation, and project management analysis. He also plays a key role in trade and investment and technology consulting, helping businesses evolve and scale effectively in today's digital economy. So today at the African Digital Conference, we are privileged to have Mr. Ndovi, who will deliver some powerful insights on business transformation through structured, data-driven strategies and disruptive innovation. These are all digital marketing trends, emerging trends in digital marketing. Of course, he is known to inspire action during his session. Of course, he sparks creativity and offer practical frameworks for long-term growth. So guys, if you're excited like me, I want to see your thumbs ups. I will usher in Mr. Macdonald Ndovi to have the floor as he comes on Spotlight to grace us with emerging trends in digital marketing. So you have the floor.
Hello, everyone. I hope you are hearing me well. Thank you very much. I want to give my honor and thanks to my predecessors, speakers. My name is Macdonald Ndovi, and I'm based in Harare, Zimbabwe. Yes, I'm a technology consultant. Mostly, I like transformation. With regards to, I see everyone here. And thank you to Melody and to Ebere Ubo. You have really explained well, and I've also learned quite a number of things out of the presentation. Yes, but coming back with what we have learned, I want everyone here to maybe write in a chat if you are aware of how many AI startups in Africa, and do you really know the AI strategy of your state or country or province? Mine is of transformation, so it might also be more of an interactive, but it's also gonna help us so that at least we will have an African context of how can we transform ourselves and be ready in the adoption of the AI. Yes, with regards to digital transformation, with regards to branding and marketing, as Ebere Obo also explained. So The question is, do we really know how many AI startups within Africa and who are advancing? Yes, and the other question also taking into consideration is it is estimated that the AI industry or economy in Africa is about 1.6 or 1.7 billion in this year, 2025. So, with that regards, what is that constitutes to the total figures and the trends which we hear out of the global sphere? Why am I saying this? I'm saying this because this is a teaser and this is Africa Digital Conference. So we also need um, to be advocate for our African culture and our African adoption and readiness for AI and in all operations. I remember I was still maybe a secondary school student. That's around 2000. And there was talk of Y2K compliant, which was just meaning, I think, 2000, after 2000 years compliant about the laptop, the computers, and etc. Some other people were laggards there. They did not comply then, and others adopted to what? To comply. But trends moved, and we saw a lot of companies not adopting, and another company, also a number of companies adopting. But truly speaking, and up to now, and also verifying, we saw that those who adopted quickly, the Y2K compliant, resisted and moved on well. And those who were led to adopt, some of them, they closed and they no longer are in operation. So what am I saying in becoming a transformative imperative to leverage Africa? We are saying AI is here to stay, and AI will be here to stay. And of course, there is fear of AI replacing people. But like what my predecessor speaker said, yes, some of the processes will be automated with AI for the better of transformation within the industries and processes. But however, AI is also there to create jobs. For example, my predecessor spoke about the efficiency of the AI, which is the hyper personalization, the easy access of data insights, the enhanced efficiency, and also bringing in the transformation of the quantitative analysis. So, with regards to whatever industry, like for here in Africa, we are being posed that by 2050, we will be contributing, we have a GDP of about 29 trillion, and we still have got a healthy and young workforce, and our natural resources are still intact. So, within the African context and within our adoption, we really need to really think and advocate clearly for the readiness and the adoption of AI. Yes, we have got certain aspect to address, which is the governance, the oversight on ethics. It might be in AI, but the strategic imperative within Africa is I can see here everyone who have joined, and everyone, we are coming from different countries and different states, but we can take it up to us to start advocating and also to educate our fellows so that at least we adopt the AI. It is estimated that in Africa we've got about 2,500, 2,400 to 2,500 AI startups. And like what my predecessors were saying, some have made headwinds. But some of the startups, whether in processes like branding and marketing or in different industries like the agriculture, the health, and the manufacturing industry and etc., or are facing a resistance because we from as Africa, we are not adopting quickly, and we are not encouraging ourselves and also supporting our own. So it is from a transformation aspect to say you matter most, and everyone here who have managed to join in and to connect, you matter most. And by being someone of paramount important, let's support our AI startups, and let's leverage on those ones and try by all means to make sure that we adopt and we are ready, because AI will be there and is there for good. The transformation trend is moving quite quickly, and we cannot be laggards with regards to those processes. I think for now, it's just a teaser. I'm looking forward to talk more about the business transformation at the main event. But however, I need to appreciate the initial two speakers. Some of them have also taken something out of my words, but we are a team, and my take is only to say let's also advocate for the African context, and let's make sure that the African brother, the African sister understand and quickly adopt and be ready for this AI transformation. Yes, we might have hindrance there and there, which might be the infrastructural, but as soon as the penetration of the adoption is increasing, especially on the mobile and the telecommunication aspect across Africa, we can see that every app which you uses on our phone right now is AI activated. So we just need that thought of transformation and that thought of embracing so that at least we enhance efficiency. So sorry for my apologies that my speech and my presentation will be short, because I need to acknowledge my predecessors. They've went in detail about describing the AI, and also about the marketing and the branding efficiency, the pros and the cons. So thank you very much. I look forward to seeing you at the main event. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Macdonald, for that brilliant one. We're grateful that you made it through. I believe that every one of us are picking out their points. And I hope that you're also preparing your questions for the Q&A tonight. Let's have Dr. Lee up for her. I hope that she's ready this time around to speak to us. Dr. Lee is a medical doctor Just as you hear, she's a health tech advocate, a mental health champion, and a community builder. What she brings to the table, real life insights into the challenges and innovation in African healthcare, experience building grassroots mental health communities for medics. She brings a fresh perspective as a creative doctor, moderator, designer, and future coder. A growing movement focused on human-centered tech-powered healthcare systems. Doctor isn't just talking about change, she's building it. One conversation, one connection, and one innovation at a time. Let's have Dr. Leez as he graced the stage tonight. Doc, over to you.
Good evening. Thank you so much. Can you hear me?
We can hear you properly now.
Okay. So thank you so much once again. My name is Leez Renske. I'm a medical doctor by profession. And today I'll be talking about the rise of health tech in Africa, particularly from a frontline worker to a founder. So I won't take much time. I will basically be sharing my story and how AI helped change my journey. So now, my journey into mindful medicine began the moment I experienced first-hand burnout. What this looked like for me was I stopped enjoying work and I started surviving day by day. And that led me to leaving a stable career without a clear plan and only conviction. So I had no plan B. I just knew what I was experiencing and I thought I was alone until my peers started talking about it and we realized we didn't know where to start. So what was the spark? The spark started with conversation between peers to noticing that toxic work environments were actually cultural in many other professions. And so I took it upon myself during this moment to start a community which is known as mindful medicine. And while doing that, we identified problems, like the first being burnout and stress. In the medical culture, it comes out as normal. I don't know about other professions, but it's quite normal for doctors and nurses to be in constant state of exhaustion. We also noted that in workplaces, there was a wellness gap in terms of infrastructure. The right channels to follow, the right people to talk to, getting a sick off just in the name of exhaustion almost did not come out as normal. We also learned that employers aren't trained to support employees' mental health needs. Sometimes working in a hospital is a business that you get so focused on making money, you might neglect your employees' needs without knowing. And they may neglect their needs without knowing. So a typical thing in the medical culture is silence is the norm. You greet someone, hi, how are you? Fine, thank you. You keep it moving. So what was our response? Our response was now mindful medicine. Mindful medicine is basically meant to help organizations or hospitals create healthier, more resilient, non-toxic workplaces. And how we're doing that, so far we have been able to provide these assessment services to 10 of Kenya's biggest auditing firms, where we are understanding that mindfulness is not just in wellness, but also in the body. And we had good feedback from that. Now, this is the most interesting part. My lessons as a co-founder, from being a medic to being a co-founder. The very first thing that we came across was how hard it was to get funding. Whenever we approached the right investors or startups for funding, the very first question would be, do you have traction? Are there any active users? Is this digitized? That's the very first thing they ask. And throughout this journey, we have experienced up to 17 rejections. and each rejection became a redirection. So we started off with big problems with the assumption that we are solving problems that people experience apart from us, only to find out that these were just problems we faced and not real problems out there. So we had to humanize all our problems, and that's how AI also helped us through that journey. We were able to build a lightweight MVP using Google tools and AI. And we also learned the value of listening, bootstrapping, and real world feedback. So, how is AI helping us now? AI is helping us build a workforce that is not just well, but empowered. Employee wellness assessments are done easier. We can identify trends, and now we can tailor interventions that actually matter. Mindful medicine is a proof that African innovation can both be empathetic and intelligent with the help of AI. Thank you.
Wow, 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 wow. That was a great one from Doctor. I believe that we're going to hear more during the Q&A session tonight. It's an amazing one from every one of each and every speaker that we've had tonight. And we are going to be having our next amazing gentleman and next amazing speaker, who is going to be focusing on AI still, blockchain. Of course, he's an AI, blockchain, and art strategist. Saintgermain Onwukeme. I hope that I'm able to pronounce your name right. You will help us when you spotlighted. He's a founder.
It's Saintgermain, but all right.
Awesome. Cybertron Arts, programmatic advertising pioneer and tech engineer, tech entrepreneur. Saintgermain is a visionary tech entrepreneur and programmatic advertising expert with over a decade of experience driving innovation across digital advertising in Africa. A systems engineering graduate from the University of Lagos. He launched his first venue, Cash Down Nigeria, his first venture, Cash Down Nigeria, over 10 years ago, and has remained at the forefront of digital transformation ever since. As the founder of Cybertron Arts, he has built strategic partnerships with global platforms, including MetaTranscend, and Hawaii Arts, solidifying his leadership in the art tech ecosystem. In 2023, he launched, of course, the name Outworld, Africa's first self-served programmatic out-of-home platform, of course, allowing businesses to launch ads in under 10 minutes, a true game changer in the industry. I'm sure that top digital marketers at the African Digital Conference will seek to connect with you for their businesses. Saintgermain is a registered associate member of the Advertising Regulatory Council of Nigeria and was recognized as an NMR executive in advertising. He also holds an ambassadorship in digital public relations from the Lagos Digital PR Chapter, highlighting his influence across multiple dimensions of media and marketing. He continues to pioneer solutions that merge technology, data, and creativity, shaping the future of advertising in Africa and beyond. Tonight, we are privileged to have Saintgermain, who will be speaking to us about the future of AI in Africa, and he will be giving us insights about AI, blockchain, and art strategies. The floor is yours, sir.
Okay, all right. First off, thanks a lot for your introduction. I will just pretty much give a quick run through on the key topic that I'm looking at, which is AI. Into that, I'm going to just share a cover screen, if you do not mind, because I'm going to do more of speaking more than anything else. So 1 second while I do that. Okay. Please confirm if you can see it currently. All right. So obviously, this is just a preview of what we are going to speak about. So I would just like to run through a couple of key things that we're talking about here. In more aspect, I would like to share more of the practical examples of how it's going to be. So with advertising, with artificial intelligence, first off, artificial intelligence is a lot more advanced and is one of the fastest growing advancements in human technology in the last 25 years. For those who have been in the space where you know the likes of Eliza and co, and how far off we were and where we are today, we can see that artificial intelligence is not something futuristic. It is the now. And when it comes to advertising, the first thing that we're going to look at is that where advertising is going to. So we talk a lot about targeting by demographics, behaviors, and the lot. I think from the advancements we are seeing, artificial intelligence is going to be looking at predicting intent. Okay. So let's say, for instance, you go to a store like Jumia and you click on an ad, or you click on a product, right? By default, using retargeting systems, they tend to retarget you for over a period, right? With AI, it will be able to separate the casual glancing through a product versus the interest in the product. You know, there's more data samples, more data sets for you to be able to work out on that. You're able to narrow down a lot of ads to the right users who need it at the right time. Because right now, with the current technologies, we are trying to narrow it to users who have interest, but we don't have the technology advancement to get it at the exact time where they will have the highest interest to make an impact. So that's where advertising is going towards that, especially with programmatic advertising and real-time bidding, which pretty much happens in our day-to-day lives, from our interactions with apps, websites, on social media, etc., etc. So that's where artificial intelligence is driving towards. Then ad creatives. So for instance, let's say this image that you're seeing currently, right? If we're using artificial intelligence, it would be optimized for every single individual in every single location, because it's trying to get the right things that will be able to speak to the right audience. Currently, we are all in a separate place. We're all in separate places. So if we're trying to get artificial intelligence to speak to us, it's going to have real-time optimizations and ad creatives that change according to performance. So the current or the norm at the moment is you have, let's say, 5 creatives, right? Then the system picks out the one that has the best performance. So let's say they show 5 creatives or 5 images. Let's just put it in plain terms. They show 5 images and people click on, let's say, image number 3 the most. What the current system does is that, okay, by people clicking on this the most, we have to optimize that, okay, this is probably the most effective. Then they probably run the optimization again, let's say after a week or a couple of days. That's the current learning system. Now with AI and the lot, we'll see about people who click images and do they convert? People who click images, are they accidental or are they well-intended clicks? Things of that nature would be much more expected with artificial intelligence. You know, in programmatic media buying, trust me, one of the key things they're going to look at is to reduce waste. So currently we have the current estimate is that about, let's say, 50 to 60% of ads that are spent are actually wasted, in the sense that they are not well optimized to a definitive goal which the user wants. So that's where the advancement of AI is going to be driven towards, in order to be able to us get much more precise intended data. For those who use ChatGPT and the lot, you can just probably run this prompt and say, ChatGPT, based on the prompts I've given you, how would you describe me? And you see that ChatGPT pretty much has a storage of all the kind of prompts and is creating a user profile. So we are going to expect that the more we use AI, the more AI will be able to mirror our intent, our habits, our behaviors, and be able to push it to the right direction that we're looking at. So in terms of AI, one of the things that we're doing with Outworld is the idea of creating a platform whereby out-of-home ads, they're able to push it out there in almost real time, right? We're doing 15 minutes. When we move in greater advancement in AI, the idea is to be able to push it almost immediately, right? So that's how the advancements we're looking at. One of the key things about technology is we're always trying to reduce wasted time. So nowadays, everything we're trying to get is quicker, faster, more efficient, and things of that nature. So we are going to be looking at efficiencies in that. But just a quick point for, I don't know how many people we really use AI a lot, but you could check ChatGPT when you are generating images, let's say a year ago or two years ago. When you generated images, they were a lot fuzzy. You could see there were a couple of mistakes here and there. If you check the latest ChatGPT and you're trying to generate images, you realize that they are a lot more crisp, they're a lot more accurate, and they are becoming closer to what you want. So we can just look at the span of 1 year, how much improvements have come in, and now project in the next 3 to 5 years, where are we looking at? Then we now look at the next part of the blockchain, right? Blockchain, we have talked a lot about blockchain a lot, but for the most part, blockchain has not really been optimized on the wider scale because of currently the utility is just for financial transactions. And a couple of Web3 apps and a lot for various projects, which as much as they are great within the Web3 ecosystem, they are not in mainstream access. So what we are looking at for the blockchain would be ad fraud. So ad fraud, unknown to a lot of people, is $100 billion problem. We have companies like Fraud Logics, Forensic, the Media Trust. These are companies that are basically built, and these are big companies that their objective is to make sure that if you say you gave me 1 impression, 10 impressions, 5 clicks, 100 clicks, we have to make sure that those clicks are human clicks. Because the same way artificial intelligence is growing, technology is advancing, there are loads of people that are mimicking human behavior in order to be able to spawn or spoof advertising traffic, and they get paid for that. A couple of years ago, we saw that with, we call that the auto reload. So some people will have some sites that will auto reload continuously every 5 seconds, every 10 seconds with various IPs. So in a day, you could see like probably 1 million impressions. Meanwhile, probably 10 people are going there, and you just see impressions spawning up there. And that's even at the basic level, right? There are people that were spoofing website. They say, oh, this traffic is coming from yahoo.com. But due to the fact that Yahoo saves so many ads, you cannot say, oh, I didn't see my ad. So you just go, okay, the URL says yahoo.com. But meanwhile, the person is spoofing it out from nowhere. So those are one of the problems that the blockchain is looking to combat, right? So smart contracts also will be able to lock in campaign terms. If you have a lot of, if you have like agreements for advertising, which a lot of times there has been always a problem with some partners deciding not to make payments, some trying to make it a fuzzy thing, and making a lot of problems there. With smart contracts, you can really put the conditions and the terms for execution and make sure that all those terms are there, and pretty much your blockchain becomes your escrow, right? And it gets to execute everything you're looking for. That's where it is. Then when you look at data ownership, you have your data, you can be able to opt in, you can decide not to opt in, XYZ, right? So that's one of the things for blockchain is going to be like where it's going to where it's going to be focused is on credibility and verification, right? So you now ask, okay, where does it meet? They both meet in being able to create high efficiency and low fraud. So you want your ads to be more efficient. I'm sure every day we go out there and we see a lot of ads that come out on your screen. Myself included, a lot of ads I say like, no, I'm waiting for the X button. Now, how about if we only saw ads that we're interested in? Most likely engagement rates will increase, and you'll be able to have a case whereby the ads are not disturbing you, but they are a welcome break from whatever you're doing, probably a movie you're watching or something you're doing, and you can be able to go out there and interact with them. And the blockchain also makes sure that on the buyer end or on the brand end, they don't have to worry about whether this data is verifiable or not. So a lot of things that comes is not just performance, but they need to be able to have campaign integrity. People need to be able to trust the data that they're receiving, the data, the information, and anything like that. That's what they are going to be doing. So another another thing that we look at in terms of the real world and where the impact for the brands are looking towards right is
I don't know if I'm
for those who are another one post 30. Okay, so we could have a situation whereby you optimize yourself not to bid a lot higher than the highest bidder and to increase your bids as other people's bids increase, depending on your performance terms and your objective you're looking at. So the objective of that is to be able to make sure that any amount you are spending for advertising inventory, you're not spending way more than what any other person is doing. So let's say you're going to Google Ads right now. You don't set your CPC limit, but you don't set your limit with regards to the people you are competing with. You just set it based on your own, and they can give you a recommended CPC limit, but they give you over a 30-day period. What you are trying to get is, what are people bidding for this keyword, this ad space, or anything today, right now? How can I compete right now? So that's where the focus is whereby we're not going to be waiting for 3 to 5 months to optimize the campaign. We try and shorten that time so that we are saving money and we are most especially saving time. So for the African market, which is very, very important for us, right? The African market we are well known as the dark continent. And that's not in regards to skin tone, but most likely in regards to data. There's a lot of data that is not available in the African market, right? So with all these tools and technology that we have, it becomes a lot easier to have data feedback and that data to be able to accumulate it properly. You know, if you are having systems, let's say you have a billboard that's on the highway, and while that billboard is trying to show the ads to the right people according to the time and day and the mood, the season, etc., the billboard is also pulling up data of the amount of cars that pass through a particular road every day. Eventually, you can be able to use that to be able to get, okay, these are the amount of cars that we expect towards these areas, right? And now with that data, you can get it to whoever is in charge of the roads, construction, X, Y, Z, and say, hey, these are the amount of people that are passing through this road. With this data you have, can you be able to see how many people or how long your roads you create, how long they will last? That's the essence of having data. We are able to process things in an intelligent way and make projections with that. So that's one of the things that we want to get. So just to round up with some quick sound bites, but one thing I'll say is we have to learn that AI is meant to make advertising and things generally smarter, but blockchain will make them honest. Then also, advertising with AI would stop the feeling of spam, and people will now be more welcoming to advertising rather than running away from it. We can see what's happening with YouTube and YouTube Premium, right? Then lastly, the objective of advertising artificial intelligence is that AI is not a robot. It's not your replacement. AI is your co-pilot. So for those who understand MCU terms, AI is not your Ultron, AI is more of your Jarvis, right? So it's meant to help you and enable you to make smarter decisions. And in the aspect of advertising and the blockchain, is to be able to make sure that your data is accurate and your advertising and your ads are much more efficient and very much they deliver what you are expecting them to do. So I hope I've taken as little time as possible. And thanks a lot to everyone that has been here.
Awesome. That was a great one from Saintgermain. And I believe that every one of you has gotten a lot of insights from his presentation, as well as unlike the other speakers. And if you have any questions, please make sure you drop your questions already on the chat area. We will be having them responded to in a moment. While I bring up every speaker for our Q&A, please drop your questions on the chat area. Okay, I'm going to send the first question to our presenter on health tech, Dr. Leez. Doc, I hope that you're there.
Yes, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay, Doc, this is for you to help our audience. Looking ahead, what are the most promising AI innovations in health tech, and how can healthcare professionals prepare for this transformation?
Okay. So one of the biggest transformations must be diagnostics in health. People right now are using AI to diagnose conditions through CT scans, through X-rays, even through chatbots. And so that's one thing that I know is going to change in the medical sector. Many people would lose their jobs. Another thing that's going to change in the medical sector is the type of professions people are going to be getting into. I think the traditional system is you're a general practitioner, you must do your master's, you specialize into clinical medicine, and that makes you a fantastic doctor. But AI has changed the norm and it is allowing doctors to step out of their comfort zone. And so I have seen, just here in Kenya alone, many doctors are diving into AI related courses and they're providing that as consultants services, which is really changing the dynamic of health and it's improving outcomes as well. What was the second question, please?
Okay, so how can healthcare professionals prepare for this transformation? Already, I think you have responded
Okay.
to the entire question, almost. Yes.
Yes.
While we are responding to the various questions, please, you check the chat area and ensure to connect with the various speakers and make sure you fill the attendance form at the end of the session. So don't leave without filling the attendance form. She will share the link on the chat area so that everyone can have the attendance noted. Okay, I'm going to be asking this next question to Saintgermain. I know you just went down, but I'm bringing you up again for the sake of transparency on some of these questions that tickle our minds and our brains a little bit. I want you to tell us what steps should businesses take to ensure transparency in AI-driven marketing. I know that you shared a lot of value tailored towards this, but I just want you to be specific as far as the answers are concerned so that we can pick points and place our fingers on them. What steps should businesses take to ensure transparency in AI-driven marketing strategies? Marketing strategies, please. AI-driven marketing strategies. And how can they build consumer trust in an era of automated decision-making? Can you help us with that?
Okay, so when it comes to AI strategies, right? I think first off, the businesses have to declare the kind of data that they are picking off their end users, because most likely you're going to have to feed every AI. You have to train your AI with data, right? So you have to make sure that these users understand that, look, these things are within they are GDPR compliant. These are data points that are not personalized to your like to your name, your address, things of that nature. They are anonymized data, right? So that's the first thing that has to be very, very important, to let them know that, oh, we are GDPR compliant. And also there should be steps to let the end user know that, okay, this is what GDPR compliance is. You know, it's like saying someone is, oh, I have this vaccine, or I have this protection or this insurance, but the person has to know what it entails. So I think there's that on their end. Then on the agency side, right, the agency would have to be very, very, very it has to be very, very forthright with the end client, and say, okay, look, we would need these data points, right? These data points to be able to have the best results that you're looking for, you know, so that the agency doesn't go out there and start promising what is not possible. At the end of the day, they start blaming the system, the platform, anything of that nature. So a lot of agreements have to be done with the clarity of what you are going to execute and what we are going to expect from both angles. So GDPR is high, then also the kind of contracts you want to have. Now, smart contracts in advertising are not common, but I believe that they will be soon. So those are the ways you can be able to ensure that there is transparency and honesty, especially with smart contracts. Regular legal contracts are definitely fine also as well. But in your contract, let it be defined that, okay, this is where we are going. In order to get these results that you're looking for, we would need these data. So if the brand doesn't supply you the data, the brand cannot hold you liable for the results, for the work they didn't put in, and vice versa, something like that nature. I think those are the very key points, and I can say at this moment we'll be able to ensure that the strategies for campaigns and advertising will work very well.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that clarification. We need to have our AI media trained. Do we have any questions from every participant? Okay, we have a question from Oxygen P. Doctor talked about burnout. He said burnout is normal for doctors and nurses. What about pharmacists and allied health professionals? This is to Dr. Leez. Please, real quick, can you help us with that? Is he around?
Yes,
Yes.
I'm here.
Yes.
To be quite frank, everyone experiences burnout. Every medic experiences burnout. As long as you are in a high adrenaline occupation, you experience burnout. So in terms of the medical sector, it includes pharmacists, clinical officers, lab techs, every single person. As long as you're dealing with large volumes of patients and a lot of administrative work, you're likely going to be burnt out.
Awesome. I believe your question was answered, P. Yes, I want to ask, this goes to Melody Mukhwana. Please help us to know, with the rapid transformation of industries by AI, how can businesses ensure ethical AI development while still driving innovation? Are there any critical areas where regulation or responsible AI practices are most needed? So this is to Madam Melody Mukhwana. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Thank you for the question. If you don't mind, could you just repeat it? I missed a few parts of it.
Awesome.
Yeah, could you please repeat the question?
Yes.
I missed. Yeah.
So this is your question, please. With AI rapidly transforming industries, how can businesses ensure ethical AI development while still driving innovation? And are there any critical areas where regulation or responsible AI practices are most needed?
Yes. So yeah, thank you for the question. And in terms of regulation, as AI developers or builders or startups are building their AI tools, this can happen straight from the building, straight from the developing of the tools from the ground up. These tools need to be built with the human in mind, because when you have the human in mind, then you're able to take those steps, those like regulatory steps, those ethical steps to make sure the human is first and always protected. So that's going to always motivate the innovator to have transparent systems that always protect the people first. This kind of regulation matters so that AI is used ethically and doesn't reinforce bias, and protects everyone's privacy, especially for vulnerable um, populations. So this can be done by the people or the innovators in AI just rallying and lobbying together, in as much as they're also building tools with humans in mind and trying to be as ethical as possible. If there are no dedicated AI policies or ethical frameworks governing this within the countries, then it's very hard to make sure everything is properly regulated. So in as much as they're also trying their best to build transparently or ethically, it's very important to have larger bodies across the countries that are dedicated to these policies and ethical frameworks. And it's another thing is to ensure that as they build these models, our data is we're using our local data to train the models, not just outsourcing already available data from the West, but using our own data so that we don't become data colonies. And data colonies, what I mean by that is our data trains the global models, but the benefits don't stay local. A lot of the models we see, even currently, have been trained here in Africa by Africans, but we don't get the benefits. This is because of such challenges in policies and frameworks. These things are being enjoyed outside, but we don't really see the value here. So by them just taking the step to use our local data to build for us, to train the models for us, that's a very big step in terms of helping with building ethical, transparent AI that actually stands for us and is used ethically and does not reinforce other biases that we're already seeing in the current AI models.
Amazing, amazing. I don't know if Mr. Ndovi has anything to say as far as regulation or responsible AI practices are concerned for startup businesses within the Africa business landscape. I don't know if you have anything to say as far as that is concerned.
Okay, thank you very much. I think from my angle, the first is we really need to assess within ourselves that everyone is liking us. But like what the last speaker said that we are regarded as a dark continent. The reason being because there are also certain elements where there is lack of data. So AI is going to come, but like what also Melod said that and Ebere to say that there is need of governance and oversight on ethics. And this needs to be streamlined I think with the relationship to different industries, because we see we've got edtech, we've got fintech, we've got the health sector, the manufacturing, but we don't have one approach cannot, we don't have a holistic approach for all because these industries are also different. And our setting also, in terms of cultural difference and also the discrepancies of infrastructural development. So I believe due diligence is important, as well as a balance with the adoption and the readiness within different sectors. Thank you.
Awesome. I believe with this, we are able to get an insight from every one of these questions. And I'm sure that every participant of this conference, you will leave in here today satisfied. Please check the chat area to fill the attendance form and make sure you connect with all our speakers as we close out the 13th of the African Digital Conference. I believe we've explored the cutting edge of AI, tech, and marketing, unpacking trends that are not only reshaping industries, but redefining the future. The conversations today have challenged perspectives and, of course, sparked ideas and revealed the immense opportunities that lie ahead. From AI-driven marketing strategies to branding for transformation, we've seen how innovation can drive impact across communities and businesses. I believe so well that every participant had their notes down and is prepared in full energy, just like me for day 14. A heartfelt thank you to our keynote speakers, the panelists and organizers, and of course, you, the engaged participants. Your contributions have made this session dynamic and insightful. I'm so happy to have been our moderator for the day. The knowledge we share today is meant to be applied, please, explored and expanded upon in our work. So our collaborations and our visions for the digital future is what the goal is at the end of the day. Let's continue pushing boundaries, embracing technology, and of course, driving transformation with purpose. Thank you all and see you at the next milestone, which of course is tomorrow, the 14th day of the African Digital Conference. I can't wait to have you all here again tomorrow as we push forward with this initiative. It was great having you, and I'm glad. Thank you to the Talita Group Foundation and Hirotech Construction and other sponsors of this event. We believe we are heading somewhere, and we've started in a bold way, in a bold manner. Thank you all. Over to you, Talita Group Institute. I don't know who is over there. I'm sure Mr. Tamon Jedone is around. God bless you. Okay, so please check the chat area, fill the attendance form before you leave, and we call it a day here. See you all tomorrow.
All right, thank you very much. I hope you guys can get me before everyone leaves. So just a kind reminder that the physical events are coming up soon. So make sure you're on your toes and be alert whenever the announcements actually pop up. I want to thank all the speakers of today, the moderator, and I'm hoping that we are going to be back here tomorrow for another brilliant event. Thank you all. The chat will be open for the next 5 minutes. So make sure you fill the attendance before you leave. There will be no sharing of the attendance sheet after the event or after this session. There will be no sharing of the attendance form in WhatsApp or any other media. You are only going to get that sheet here. And if you're joining when the attendance sheet has been shared, we are sorry, we are not going to share that particular form again. So thank you all for joining us, and see you all tomorrow. Bye-bye for now.